You haven't thought of an intro, have you?
No, I haven't.
Normally you're so prepared with this, and now it's just, I just saw the
Yeah.
look on your face. I was like, uh-oh.
Hang on. I've just thought of an idea. We'll use this one.
I can come over there and tickle you, Brendan.
Please don't.
This episode of the Hammerbar Project is called Acting Shellfishly.
But before we bury the lead, we use that phrase all the time. I'm still not 100% on whether I'm using it correctly, and I'll never know. But hello, I'm Brendan. Frank's here.
Frank is here. This is me.
And Martin's here.
Hello.
And this is, of course, the Hammerbar Project, and we're going to talk about the Australian children's television program Bluey. Try and stop us. You won't be able to do it. I've laid down the challenge.
You mean like how you stopped right at the start?
A little bit like that, yeah.
You did it, guys. You did it.
You did it.
It
You weren't
almost
even here.
worked. Just think harder. Think harder. You could do it.
You can do anything. Frank, you usually do a thing where you say,
Marty, would you care to take
no.
it?
No.
Oh, you do that. I'm not saying you don't do that.
Well,
but
we
you,
keep getting
but
accused
you,
of forgetting Marty,
Yeah,
so I thought I'd just get right into
Get
it.
right
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it. But you often
what
do
are you
Oh
something.
my
saying?
God. I'm jumping ahead.
You're getting so excited. But and there's reason to, and that reason is,
This episode of Bluey is called Tickle Crabs.
yeah. But now,
Now I go?
Yeah, you go.
Marty, would you care to take us? I don't have a fancy one. Would you care to take us through the bare bones of this episode?
Okay, so this one's a classic power inversion sort of story. Very much like, the ancient Romans with their Colosseum used it as a means to turn the barbaric from the exterior to the interior. But really, it's a retelling of the tale of Kakinos.
Tell us what we don't
So
know.
the giant crab which came to the aid of the Hydra in its battle with Heracles, also known as Hercules,
Mhm.
at Leona. The hero crushed it beneath his foot, but as a reward for its service, the goddess
remember it
Hera
well.
placed it among the stars as the constellation Cancer.
Mhm.
So, represented through Bluey and Bingo as the tickle crabs. No.
Wow, that
That's-
got
I was there.
mythological.
That's,
Well, there's some other
yeah.
mythological stuff
Oh,
in
yeah?
this episode. We'll get back to that.
Oh.
But no, what's it about really?
You're tickling my interest.
Oh.
Oh.
That set you off course more than I thought it would. Sorry.
So what's it really about? Really, it's Bluey and Bingo want to play tickle crabs and Dad does not want to. The end.
The end.
He learns a lesson. But
Yeah.
Kinda.
It learns a lesson, but kinda.
Look, I think the B plot of this episode is, of course, the romance side of things, and there's that little Bluey does this really amazing thing where there's the parent moral, I guess, in a lot of episodes is quite apparent.
Yep.
This one, it's just really subtle. It's in there probably
subtle,
about
yeah.
2/3 of the way in. I know, again, I'm skipping all the way forward here, but that's kind of how we do this. Chili and Bandit hiding in the cupboard,
Mm.
and there's that moment where Bandit's like, oh, I guess I do always just call out for help straight away.
Yeah.
And then they're almost about to have a deep and meaningful conversation. And the tickle crabs go, see you, bye. And she's off.
Yeah,
Like-
which is the second time of the episode that she's done it. She's just
Yeah.
It's
It's
such
a classic
it's a
Chili
great
move
gag.
as well.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya. Yeah. There's so many times where you just get
Bandit
left
gets some of
holding
those
the bag.
moves in there, though. I reckon
That's
they both they share around the "see you later" throughout the course of the show. But I do like that. Yeah, there's that kind of the lesson being learnt is for the parents this time. It's
Yep.
kind of like and
The kids are
and
just
the
having
kids
fun.
are the sort of not MacGuffin, but they're driving the chaos, and they're just the almost like the comic relief. And there's lots of really cool little physical comedy
Yeah,
things going
yeah.
on, which I'm sure we'll get to. But it's cool that they shake that up. Like a lot of the time, the parents are just there to drive the story in the background, and the kids learn a lesson, and they learn a lesson through play or whatever. But mixing it up, having Bandit sort of have a little epiphany. I don't know if it's a genuine epiphany or it's part of the game or anything, but it's just I have a
Yeah,
lot of fun with
yeah.
this one.
It took me a few times watches through this one to really get a level of that meaning that I was hoping for, I guess.
Sure.
Like there's this one on the surface of it, and I think Joe talked about before, like kids love this one and parents a little bit like
Right.
because it's so much closer. It's probably about the closest thing to parenting. It's just like the kids want to do something that you really don't want to do over and over again, where
that's
it's
right,
like they say
Yeah.
at the beginning, it's like, yeah, it's fun for us. Yeah, but it's not fun for me. Still have to do it though.
Maybe it just engenders too much PTSD
Yeah, I think
as
so.
you're watching it.
There's some other episodes where I'm just like twitching.
Yeah,
Because it, like hits me on so many levels.
Yeah.
So what I eventually came to was this idea, and it sort of related back to a couple of things I've heard, is don't wait until things are perfect to do the things you want to do.
Okay. Yeah.
It
That's
was
something
a
that I
little bit
really
less
still need to learn. But I think I'm getting there.
Because that's kind of, I took it a step away from like the idea of that romanticized idea of true love. Like, oh, I'll only be happy. I'm so lonely. I'll only be happy when I have my true love.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I extrapolated that a bit. And
Oh man,
kind of
I have to
went-
watch this again.
I kind of took it back to something I've heard before, which is kind of like, okay, what would you really like to be doing with your life? Well, I'd like to, be traveling and, finding out about history. Okay, well, there's nothing stopping you
Yeah,
from getting
right.
a book about
Yeah.
history right now and doing it. You don't have to wait until this thing happens down the track for you to actually, do something that you really want to do.
Yeah.
So for me, when I watched it through and thought about that, and it is that moment within when they're sitting in the cupboard, it's like, oh yeah, I do usually just sort of say it's not, up to me to do it, or like, I'm going to wait for something perfect to happen before I engage with it.
Yeah.
So that's ultimately what I took from it, and I think I like it a little bit.
Yeah. What do they say? Perfect is the enemy of good, or something. Like when they say that, artists, artists say that. Perfect is the enemy of adequate, or like there's so much brilliant stuff that you're failing to do because you're waiting for it to be that little bit, but you won't actually get around to doing it if you're worried about it being the perfect version of something. But you mentioned the most like real parenting, and there's just like a couple of like I'll be remiss if I don't remember to mention just a couple of things that Bandit does, like when he kind of rolls off the couch and he goes boof, and then there's a bit of camera shake, and he goes oh.
Yep.
Before he gets up,
Yeah.
and then there's later when he's like freedom off the kitchen counter,
and then as he's like a belly dive.
and he goes and then he comes around and he's holding his leg, and it's just, I think that's so, because none of that is necessary. Once again, like you don't need to go to that level, but just that little thing, it achieves a couple of different things. One, it's funny. Two, slapstick, like Bandit's hurting himself is funny. Two, it kind of makes it a bit more real because, hey, none of us are spring chickens, and playing with kids, it takes it out of you.
Yep.
They've got limitless energy, and I don't.
They really do. They're fusion powered, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, and my recovery time isn't what it used to be. I feel like if I drop my keys, that's not the easy task it was, 20 years ago. There's still a little bit of like, oh, well, now I have to bend down. I'm not, it's not a struggle, but I think we've talked about this before, but it's still a task that now is at front of mind. And I just think, oh, wish I didn't have to do that. And thirdly, it makes it almost mean more like Bandit's effort and Chili's effort and the effort they go to, because he doesn't pull any punches, even when he kind of hurts himself in these little ways. He's not the cool young guy he used to be who could just do whatever. It takes its toll, but he's still like in it. I don't know. That's what I took from all those little bits. I really like it.
The other one that resonates with me in the idea is like real parenting is when he picks up the two kids underneath the rug.
Oh yeah.
The amount of times I have to do something. You were saying, Frank, man, picking up two kids.
And the commentary during it as well. He's just vocalizing everything he's doing.
Shake the sand out.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's very true. Yeah. You're talking about what you're doing.
Well, I guess now I'll just do this. Now that gives me a chance to, all that stuff.
100%. And just because just brings me back to what Naomi does at the moment. We're getting into hide and seek, but slowly and progressively. And she'll do things like she's found a really good hiding place, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna hide here, and you come and find me."
Right.
And like make it interesting by checking a few other places.
And I find it hard to argue with that because a good hiding place is a good hiding place.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
it's still fun to wait to be found.
Yeah.
So it's that whole thing of like they know exactly what's going on. Bandit knows exactly what's going on when he's picking up the
what's going to happen.
So it's just like that resonates really strongly with the sort of play I'm doing at the moment.
On the topic of hide and seek, for real life, Jack is very much into hide and seek. I don't know if you saw on your way in, Marty, there was a makeshift, what he calls the cave, which is essentially some chairs. We've put a blanket over the top of it, put his little mattress in there, and that's his little hiding spot. And he will run into there and basically go, Mum and Dad, hide and seek. And it's not that we have to find him, he has to find us. And so me and Ali go off into various, wherever around the house. And then one of us yells out, and we've got it sort of backwards. So I feel like we've trained him poorly. We just go, ready or not, come find us. Which is totally the opposite of what it should be.
Kind of mixing in a bit of Marco Polo in the whole situation.
And then he runs around the house. And you talk about a good hiding spot. Oh, mate, the best one I've found, you get a blanket, you lie down on the couch, you throw the blanket over you, and it worked really well for the first time. I got a good 2.5 minute lay down
break,
and he was just running around, and I was like, this is brilliant. Ali, of course, meanwhile, knows exactly where I am. And she's like, Jack, come look over here. No, not over there. Try the couch. No, the other couch. Just really willing him to try and find me. And I'm just in there going, this is the best idea ever.
Instead of scrolling on your phone like Bandit always.
Get busted. You just see a bit of phone light coming out between the little threads of the blanket.
Being under a blanket on something is a really great way to hide from kids.
Yeah. Okay. Duly noted. Do you ever get the when they're looking for you, just the "Where are you?"
Yeah.
Do you ever get that? It's like, hang on, and that's where I'm like, well, I'm not.
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm not going to ruin the sanctity of the game.
Because the other way as well, what Naomi's been doing is just like, oh, where could you be? I'm here. It's like, oh,
you gave it away.
Yeah. Well, we should probably talk about tickling as well. If we're talking about is Jack like tickling?
Yes, very much so. In fact, I think our when we say, commentate what we're doing, it pretty much comes from this episode because, we've got tickle, tickle, tickle. That's literally how we say it. And then, you start by tickling him and he reacts. And then he goes to tickle you. Hasn't quite got the fidelity of that. So there's been a few awkward sort of like rib pokes and tries to tickle me at the sort of neck level and ends up going for my ear by accident. Goes towards like Ali's chest region a few times, and Ali's like, nope, that's a deal breaker. The game is over.
Right, gotcha.
But yes, he does enjoy a good tickle.
I love the tickle, 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 tickle. Like as they're sneaking up,
that's
they're
how
going
they
to
walk.
tickle. And then when they attack, just tickle. And there's so many little animation things in this, like the hands above the couch,
above the
little
couch.
claws just going up,
it's the walk, man.
Yeah, it's just so funny.
When I'm tickling Naomi, it's because they laughed uproariously and they're just like wriggling around trying to get you to stop, and then you're like, you stop, and you're like, okay, are you actually not enjoying this? And they're like, tickle me.
Yeah, right.
Go again.
Go again. So I was like, oh, okay, it's good.
Yeah,
licensed torture.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I think my biggest takeaway from this is all the fun little animation things, like the big please face. This is going to take some serious please face.
Serious.
Yes, serious. and Big O's just like straight there, right, coming to the party right away. And I'm going to need some ears. And she just blinks and they're there. And then where does she procure those toys from?
Toys.
Just
I love that you need the props
to
help you. Like,
and cute animals. Like,
What's the line? Just like, I can't believe you never play with us. You're always at work. It's like, I'm never at work.
He really isn't.
That's such a cool
There's so
meta
many
joke.
all the parents watching this would have just gone, he's right. He's never at work.
I'm never at work.
There's one episode, I think the only episode you see him go to work is when he's selling drain pipes out the front.
There's a big wink in that part of the script. I'm never at work. Love it. I do love also that Chili's excuse for having something to do is, what is she pulling, a scrunchie or some gum out of the, you reckon it's
I was
some...
going to say, we mentioned about, real life. Oh my God, this is parenting. Having the kid's toy that they've managed to muck up somehow. I took it as gum. That was my sort of assumption. And because she's still trying, when you see her at the start, she runs off. She's in the cupboard. She's still trying to remove it.
Yeah.
And it would be that thing where the kid's going, oh, look, I did this thing, but now you need to fix it. You need to fix my toy. And you're like, yeah, that's a parent.
And it's
101.
also like these little things that you do become just obsessed with. Like, oh yeah, you can imagine she go, I'll just quickly... And then when it becomes a challenge, she just like really focused on it. Like, and I wasn't sure if it was like a tangled hair tie or a tangled scrunchie or some like gum that she was trying to get out of it. But I love that becomes her little task for the episode. And then, not to like jump into it too early, but the moment where she does come back in to sort of save the day when Bandit's just completely swamped, the signal that she's on the scene is that doll just flies into that, and you'll notice it's been removed.
Yeah, the thing is, the object is gone.
I love that it's like a little, the little wink that she's back on the scene. Our hero has arrived, but it's like also objective achieved. The doll's finished. It's like she can do it all.
Speaking of Chili and her amazing seagull impersonation, that is without a doubt.
Chalk it up.
She's the real star of this episode.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
You had to hit the bell before you even said it. You're just like, look.
Gives you license to say it at that point.
Okay, sure.
Honestly, she is that seagull impersonation. Because up to that point, you're sort of going, Chili, like, I get that mums and every parent, in fairness, need their time out. But the way it's sort of framed to that point, you're just like, I feel like Chili's just
keeps
dodging,
scarpering.
running away. And then that seagull noise, I'd love to know if that's an actual like a clip or that's actually Melanie Zanetti making those noises, because it's so good. And even just a little, are you my true love? And she's like, amazing vocal. If that's Melanie.
And he accepts that as a positive answer, as an affirmative answer to his question.
I think I love the line, what are you doing in here? There's no way I'm getting tickled. The way she says that and the facial expression helps so much as well. It's like, she does not like being tickled.
Yes. No,
don't tickle mum.
And I love like everything that Bandit does throughout the course of this episode. He's kind of like doing it, and when he's being tickled, he's kind of like laughing as well. And his whole monologue when he comes out, he's like, the air smells sweeter. And the bird song, and then he's like lying on the thing, like, because the wave drifts him back, and he's lying on the thing. Oh well,
let it be.
Let it end.
Let it end. That's it. He's very Shakespearean.
As he's giggling as well, like intermittent laughing. It's just good fun.
He's very Shakespearean in this whole bit. Like it's like part of when he's in the game. He's like, oh well, I will talk like this. It reminds me of like early versions of Thor before they worked out Chris Hemsworth was funny. He speaks doth like this, like that's the sort of, and then who remembers Bandit's stage name?
Telemachus.
Telemachus.
Is that a name? It sounds like a nautical object.
This is where the mythology comes in, I believe.
Correct. This is the Greek mythology.
Fill us in.
So it's this is Telemachus, son of Odysseus, who you might have heard of.
Old AD.
Yeah, that's. That's OD.
OD. I was going to say.
AD, as I've never called him.
Yeah, that's right.
as it wouldn't make sense to call him.
So that's Odysseus in terms of what's it called? The Odyssey.
The Odyssey. Yeah.
Right.
So there's it's almost a bit Grecian in the fact that he falls in love with a bird.
Yeah.
That kind of feels very.
That does sound like one of those
There's a
long
little
tales,
bit,
doesn't it?
It's like the siren,
And all the
type
soliloquy
thing.
is very, epic poem as well. So
that's true.
Old timey,
Yeah, and driving in the car,
driving
being-
the car,
while
very
being
Greek,
tickled. Yeah,
very ancient Greek. Yep. Well, hang on.
Driving. Who's done that? As far as you sit in the car, pretend you drive, you don't actually go anywhere. Now, I remember doing that a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
We had Dad's old car. Dad got the company car.
You don't
Next
have to
thing
do
you
that
know-
anymore, Frank. You can drive. you can actually do it now. You don't have to.
yeah. When we came
pretend.
around before Frank was sitting in his car, going,
Really?
honk honk.
I just sit in the car and wait for Ali to drive me everywhere. Is that not what
I was
the dumb
wondering
thing
why
is?
you were getting such great mileage out of your electric car.
But no, I remember doing that as a kid, and the old sort of rusted Tirana that pretty much
Right.
sat there until it was used for parts. I shudder to think how many spiders and
Oh,
redbacks
boy.
and whatever lived in that car back in the day. But
Mm.
yeah, and Jack every now and then when we come home, usually he'll just hop out the car and it's fine. Every now and then he's like, no, goes further into the car and basically will sit on the front seat. And he's seen Daddy and Mummy and Daddy drive this car, so I want to turn the wheel.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a lot of buttons up there, guys.
oh yeah,
There's a lot of buttons that do things.
Oh boy.
Lights flash,
Mhm.
windscreen wipers go, water sprays.
Mm.
I mean,
it's a little fun time.
he
for
loves
everyone.
doing the horn,
Radio
but he
turns
does
on.
it himself. Like he'll just tap it and say the words beep beep, and every now and then he presses a little bit too
little
hard.
bit too
It
hard.
does go beep.
Yeah.
The car's in a garage, so it sort of echoes,
Oh,
and
wow.
he freaks out. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, right.
It scares him because he's
Yeah.
actually managed to press the
Yeah,
horn.
boy.
that's when the game ends. When I'm playing.
Yeah,
with
that's when you
Naomi.
go,
It's like,
okay, we're
yep,
done
no,
here.
we're done.
Yeah.
If you're out on the street, yep, no. I do love those depth of field shots of like the bee and
Yes.
the butterfly.
Yeah.
Really nice. Like with the light beaming in and like the rays of light. They're really sweet. And you really do feel like the world is better when you're not being tickled by crabs. When you see something like that.
I know I do.
Oh, no, there's one thing. That's right. Because I do have another for real life. Naomi really likes, I think, I mentioned it just a while back. Joe says kids really love this episode, and he's right. Because Naomi really likes this one. I think it is the power inversion thing. Of just like people are getting tickled and I'm doing it. But for some reason, the thing that really captured Naomi's imagination was the gluing to a wall.
Yes,
Ah.
right. of
Glue,
course.
glue.
Yeah, sure.
And then being able to
unglue.
pop. And her trying to do that is adorable.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's in the same way that she really loves the magic statues, not unlike Natalie Portman's kids. I think we were saying like there's something about that really catches you. Unfortunately, it's one of those games that's not really a game. It's just like, oh, I'm going to stick you to something. I'm going to unstick myself.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to stick you to something. It's like you're a magic statue. You move to the other place. Okay, I'm going to move you again. So it's in the same way that's that real parenting resonating again of just like it doesn't have this fantastic narrative arc that Bandit puts into this story. It's just kind of like, no, a thing happens and you repeat, and it's annoying because you can't tolerate. It becomes hard for you after about 2 attempts.
Yeah, right. I love Bluey and Bingo's synchronicity of the. Like they're both straight into it. Like this is another thing that has history. Another thing that has that really fun. They know exactly what they're doing. You get more invested in their sisterhood because of that history of that game. And speaking of investment, it's no secret how invested I am in the relationship between Bandit and Chili, and just the whole love story. Even though it's framed.
Can I invent a new one? That's for you.
Oh yeah.
Every time you say I'm so invested in their relationship.
Who's not? Who isn't? There's moments where they're finding time even in the chaos. He's monologuing Greek hero and she's a seagull who's coming to swoop away some crabs, but they're finding time in that chaos. There's just a couple of winks that they're a team, and they're each other's true love. But I just need 30 minutes on the couch.
Yeah,
I just need half an hour on the couch.
Hey, Brenny,
Yeah, mate.
do you want to have some of these juicy ribs?
You know what? In that bit, I want to tickle him. Like that shot.
He's just
It's
got
so
the
brilliant.
arm up,
And
he's got the rib cage
they're
out.
kind of getting, and they're like
the
fingers.
reaching.
So close.
I really feel the tension in that shot. I'm just like, oh, it's right there. I could like, what is that?
It's one of those really because
It's a really evocative shot. Why?
My word. No, it is. It's the thing that happens when they scale down a bit because it's the same sort of hands that you get in that other episode where they're hands.
Oh yeah,
And the
Blue
lighting
Mountains,
changes the way that
Yes.
the lighting. Because once they pan out again, it's not the same thing, but smaller.
it's that
It's
real
like different
narrow depth of
lighting.
field.
It's got the you can actually see his fur.
Yeah, right. Yes.
So I think
Yep.
you do get that texture. That sense of
yeah.
texture. And you want to tickle him.
Yeah.
It's like this smooth, fluffy surface.
I didn't
there.
want to tickle him until I saw that shot. I'm like, oh, I don't know why it achieved exactly what I didn't expect it was trying to achieve.
Got any Naomi's pics for us there?
I'm so
I
glad
saw
you
you a
asked.
little.
Well, the thing is, I haven't had as many of them because I have to admit, guys, we're becoming more and more a Sarah and a Duck household.
Oh, right. You
So
have
I've-
spoken about
you know,
it.
Naomi's drifting, guys.
Oh, we
She's
can't
just-
let it happen. Nothing against Sarah and Duck, obviously.
Sarah-
but
it's good. Sarah and Duck is pretty
but,
good.
I mean, we're not on a Sarah and Duck podcast.
No, we're really not yet. But no, okay. I do have some from the archives.
Oh, what is it? What is it that you've got? Some.
Naomi's pics.
That was a great one.
Wow.
All right. Okay, so we've got too many toys on the ground.
Yeah, too many toys on the ground. Too many toys on the ground. Don't. Floor is lava.
No. The one where they turn into animals. Asparagus.
No.
Oh, no, not asparagus.
Too many toys on the ground.
What-
Too many toys
what-
on the ground.
What stops? What are the toys saving from? Isn't it lucky that we put all these
Yeah,
toys on the
the
ground?
ground's lava that
No,
becomes ground's lava because of the episode
Calypso.
that it is.
The one
No.
where they build the gnome
and
village.
it becomes this is to my eternal shame.
And then she
all I
says-
can think of is what it becomes.
Too many toys on the ground and the red balloon.
Oh, Keepy Uppy.
It's keeping up, you guys. Come on.
Oh, hang
They come
on.
into
Did
the
you just
room and they're
say,
like-
isn't it good that?
Oh, good thing we left all our toys on the
Yeah,
ground.
is that what you
from
were
that episode?
referring
Yeah, is that not in Keepy Uppy?
I don't think that line is in.
No,
Keepy
that's
Uppy.
in what? I'm so embarrassed. I'm so. What episode becomes now? It's called Ground's Lava. It's post.
Ground's Lava Postman.
Yeah.
Because it's the letter,
then they
but
said,
then the floor
Isn't it
is
good
lava.
that we left all our? Is that what that's from?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they
that
used
line-
that gag a couple of times though.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm fairly
yeah.
sure.
Oh.
Controversial.
okay, all right.
Controversial. I
Dad
should
put,
know this.
Dad put sunscreen on bingo.
Put some beach.
No.
No. I just thought of sunscreen because I just thought of the beach. Because you should put sunscreen on the beach, kids. Not on the beach, on you when you're on the beach.
Stop it.
I'm just trying to throw Frank off
You're
while I'm
doing
thinking
a
of what
good
it
job.
is.
Need so much
Put
sunscreen
sunscreen
to
on.
put it all over the beach.
That's what the beach is. That's why it's the color it is.
That's why it's so pale.
It's just dirt that's been covered in sunscreen. Light dirt. Yep, sorry. We've done the beach.
It's not
What are we
Mini
doing?
Bluey, is it?
Is it Mini Blue?
No.
Ah, damn it. Dad's put sunscreen on bingo. What could it be? What
Pet feet.
episode? What was that?
Pet feet.
Pet
Starts
feet.
with pet feet.
Starts with pet feet.
Pet.
Wow, people are really shouting at you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got
The
nothing.
problem is though, I've
we're
kind of
terrible
forgotten
at
what
this
the
game.
title is.
Oh, right.
You didn't write it down?
We could have said I suppose you don't need to find the title. You just need to find the thumbnail.
Yeah, it's not. Is
Um,
it Daddy Drop Off? It's the one where
Sunscreen on bingo.
hmm?
Oh, does he put sunscreen
It's Wind
on
Up
there?
Bingo. It's just before Wind Up Bingo. So it's the episode where
Yeah, I think you're right. There is a sequence right before he's trying to drop off bingo. So,
yeah,
all right,
it's
bingo,
just like
in you go.
sunscreen,
Yes.
and then yeah.
That's a very
Yeah, it's
niche
a
part of
very
that episode.
specific element.
Yeah.
I've haven't been listening because I remembered about Keepy Up Here. Bandit says like, oh, if only you'd cleaned up, then maybe
This
or
would be
yeah,
easier,
yeah.
and then
So
it
that's
falls
what
on the
that's what
toys.
was occupying my mind. I can't promise I'll be any
Very
better at
good.
the game now that I'm back, but
Brendan's returned to us from the past.
yeah.
I was going to say, how many tracks do we record on? Because Brendan's only using one for his mind.
One track mind.
Okay, Bluey and children.
Bluey and children. Bluey and children. Let's see. Oh, who?
That's not helping.
I know, that's right. This is completely off topic, but I went camping. Do you ever play that game Spot It? In the UK, it's called Double. It's a little card game. And I was playing with a dude who kept doing that, and it was the worst. And I found it so funny. Like in order to like put everyone else off, he would play the card and then go, now let's see, this time it's going to be and he'd just say make up stuff,
verbal
and it's
everything.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the worst. And so now I'm
Emulating
Taking
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
totally forgotten what Marty said because
Yeah,
I've been
me too.
distracted by this over
it worked
here.
so well I ruined the game for myself.
Bluey and children.
Bluey and children. Library.
Nope.
Damn it! Because she's got the reading circle.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
I feel like I have to
The
justify all my wrong guesses.
circus?
Nope.
She's like the ringmaster?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Bluey and children.
It's a balloon one again.
Balloon one. Mum school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah,
'Cause she
yes.
says,
Good
okay,
call.
children.
Good
blah,
call.
blah, blah.
Yep.
And well, we've done too many. Like, I had written down little one with the blue mum.
Little one with the blue mum.
If you can guess, because I don't know what it was.
Oh, now this is the one I really
we
want to
all
get.
we have to get
Because
it
then I
now.
beat you.
Little one with the blue mum. Is that what? Say it again. Little one.
Little one with the blue mum is what I had written
Little
verbatim.
one with the blue mum. Listeners, please email hammerbarnproject@gmail.com.
Very good.
Let us know, little one with the blue mum, what the heck is Naomi talking about?
That's not Blue Mountains, is it?
It could possibly be Blue Mountains, actually.
right.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause
what.
they're
That's our
little,
working
like,
theory.
with
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that
That's
might
our
be,
working
yeah,
theory.
Okay.
You got to
yeah.
test it out. Just say to Naomi, little one with the blue mum, and then like have
She
it
won't
ready.
remember.
If she doesn't remember, what is the entire point of this game?
It's so she gets what she wants in the moment.
It's for me to get really distracted and ruin the flow for everybody. That's the point of this game. Can we have a real quick
Checking our inbox.
Let's do that.
Frank, have you got it up? Have you got it ready?
Yes, I do. Here is a.
So I dumped that on you. Sorry. Go right ahead.
That's a one heck of an intro.
I knew you were on it though. I can trust.
All right, this is from our friend Jared. He's written to us before.
He's back.
He says, "Congrats on your season finale."
Yeah, because we realized it was episode 52. Yeah.
Now, Brendan, this is where you mentioned about the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah,
and the
that's
additional
terrible
song.
news,
It's
Jared.
not on there.
There was a
Jared
whole
can confirm.
article about it.
Yep.
Maybe in the show notes I can find the article. But they promised that they'd put it on, and so I was like, I got all excited. I
Yeah.
went and watched it, and this was Christmas had already been and gone when I watched it. And I'm like, hey, it's seasonless, this movie. And I put it on, and it wasn't there, and I just
Yeah.
thought, maybe it was just for America. But even you
not
don't
in
have
the American
it's-
version either.
And Jared goes on to say how important it is for the character development of Ebenezer. And Jared, you are speaking my language. This guy, if anyone knows Jared, tell him he's the man. Because you're absolutely right. And so that's a tragedy. But what's not a tragedy is that Jared went on to quote Darkwing Duck because what was it?
He basically ends his email by saying, in honor of another cartoon character, it turns out we all know and love, I am the terror that flaps in the night.
I am the flamingo that tells you you've gone too far.
I am Jared.
That's when he gets interrupted because the running gag was like Darkwing Duck was always trying to give his awesome badass catchphrase, and then he'd always just get interrupted, and it wouldn't quite work.
But Jared also did have a little theory in there he wanted to throw at us around the episode of Double Babysitter. Now, I know we haven't done it, but when people write in, I think we can exclude rolled up newspapers. basically there's the bit where when Frisky
yes.
arrives and Shelley says, "Oh, sorry, didn't you get my message that to not come because Uncle Rad is in town?" His theory is that I don't think Chili ever sent
How
that message
good.
because she's deliberately setting the two of them up.
Yeah,
I love it.
The way
I think it's wonderful.
Chili delivers that, the way that she goes, "Oh, you must have never got my message. Oh, I must have sent." Like, I mean, she fooled me. She was like,
She's a good actor.
That's some Oscar winning stuff. She fooled everyone but Jared. Well done, my man. Oh, now we're just ticking things off. We've done Naomi's picks. We've checked the inbarks.
Yep.
Can we give a bit of credit where credit's blue?
Let's do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time, credit where credit's blue is going to, from the editorial department, Anthony Pham.
Hey!
Anthony, thank you so much. We love this show. We appreciate your huge part in it. Anthony has been the assistant editor on like 88 episodes so far. I think it looks like, Anthony, you came on in like around about the season 2 era and has just been smashing it. I'm even credited as the editor on Whale Watching. So moving up in the world, Anthony, you are seen, my dude.
We're just loving all the stuff you're leaving in. Assume you're taking out all the bad stuff. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Tickle, tickle, tickle,
No,
tickle.
I do
I'm not
not want to get tickled.
But I do want to watch the episode again. Now that you've pointed out, Marty, there's a whole undercurrent of the message of how perfection is an enemy of getting stuff done. And what was it else that you said that I really loved that I said I'd have to watch
Go back
again?
and listen to the start of the episode.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that right now. And you can too if you want, listeners. You can
Silky
do it.
smooth.
Silky smooth. Silky smooth.
No one will ever know.
Speaking of silky smooth, 300
ribs.
What is happening?
Not good podcasting. That's what's happening. those ribs. 300.
Left at the fake ribs.
And if you try to tickle mum, you've gone too far.
Created and produced by Frank, Brendan and Marty. You can follow the Hammerbarn Project on facebook.com/HammerbarnProj, at HammerbarnProj on Twitter, or Hammerbarn_project on Instagram. Theme featuring Nibblings, Kaylee, Jade, Ashley and Reese, and PA announcements by brother-in-law, me, Josh. Thanks for listening, and remember to get down to Hammerbarn for cheap shovels.